If you're watching this video, I would guess that there is a good chance you enjoy traveling. I really love spending my time in different places, and I'm certainly lucky to have a remote job which allows me to do so. While I love to fly, partially because of my fascination with airplanes, I actually prefer driving. You get to experience the area, take in the landscapes, and no pun intended, it's more scenic. But one of the biggest downfalls to driving, the traffic. Let's talk about the cities with the worst traffic. Our top 10 cities with the worst traffic for 2021 are actually great travel destinations. So I'm hoping this video gives you an idea of what you'd be getting yourself into if you visit and drive in these locations. Before we jump into the top 10 cities with the worst traffic, smash that like button, subscribe for more content coming soon, and don't forget, leave us a comment below letting us know what you thought and what you'd like to see next. Kicking off our list at number 10, A-Town. Now, Atlanta, Georgia is a must visit for every single person. I don't care who you are, this city has something to offer everyone. It's vibrant, highly diverse, and spending time in the city is an experience to say the least. For anyone who may have a more cynical impression of Atlanta, I really challenge you to visit. I think you'd change your mind. Now, with that said, Atlanta's traffic is nightmarish. The average resident of Atlanta loses 82 hours per year due to traffic and congestion on roadways in the city. And this isn't a new issue for the city, as they seem to have a really inefficient layout. That plus poor public transportation. The most populous city in the state of Maryland, the city home to the national anthem, Baltimore is also home to some bad traffic. The sights, food, and history are what make Baltimore the special place that it is, but you may want to fly in. The state has a rough freeway system, and there's both incoming and outgoing rush hour traffic. How bad is it? Well, it's been reported that 84 hours are lost per year. That's 3.5 days. Located deep into the Pacific Northwest, Portland, Oregon is a unique place to say the least. The city seems to get a really bad rap, but if you can look beyond political issues this area faces and enjoy the nature and diversity of Portland, you will gain gratitude for how special this planet is. Well, with that said, the traffic here is not so special. I mean, beyond the limits of the city, you're fine, but if you get caught out at the wrong time, Portland's traffic will really make you pay. The city earns number 8 on our list with an average of 4 days lost to traffic congestion every year. If you find yourself in California or would hope to visit the state at some point, I will tell you that doing so without visiting San Francisco would be a big mistake. There's the Golden Gate Bridge, there's Fisherman's Wharf, one of my favorites, In-N-Out Burger, the epicenter of tech and innovation. If one thing is for sure, plan on utilizing public transportation, such as the BART, and wearing comfy shoes. That's actually one of my favorite things about the city, just how walkable it is, which is really great considering how bad the traffic gets. On average, 97 hours a year here are wasted due to traffic. Our number 6 city keeps us in the state of California, Los Angeles. The City of Angels is well known for Hollywood and its entertainment industry, the diversity, and much more. Fun fact for you, LA is the only city to have held the Olympics twice. You might also find it interesting that if Los Angeles were its own country, it would have a greater economy than Saudi Arabia, Sweden, and Switzerland. So it's really not too crazy to hear just how bad the traffic gets. I mean, this has long been known about Los Angeles. It is estimated that an average of 104 hours are spent in traffic every year. Bordering Maryland and Virginia, the U.S. capital, Washington, D.C. Obviously, D.C. is home to the United States government, but if you haven't been, you'd be surprised to learn exactly what this area has to offer besides politics. They have some iconic museums along with the Kennedy Center, a really popular venue, some really great food. Now, not only is this area a little more pricey in terms of living costs, it's more busy as well. And with busy comes traffic. If you reside in Washington, D.C. and drive, you could potentially be losing 5 days out of your year due to being stuck in traffic. New York City, the city that never sleeps. The Big Apple. I honestly think this city has an endless amount of nicknames. I mean, New York City and America are synonymous. After all, it is the most populous state in the country. This city alone is home to almost 19 million people. And I think it's pretty funny because I don't think I've ever known anyone who's lived in New York and owned a car. On average, New Yorkers lose 140 hours stuck in traffic. Now, a lot of people opt in for the subways, although they can be busy depending on the time of day. I would plan on taking cabs or utilizing Uber or Lyft for commutes throughout the city. The largest city in the state of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, is one of the nation's most historic cities. I mean, the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were both signed here. The Liberty Bell is hosted here. The American Revolutionary War took place on Philly soil. And the movie Rocky was shot here. This city brings so much, and if you enjoy food like I do, we have to give a big shout out to their cheesesteaks. Surprisingly, Philadelphia has a pretty good public transit system. It seems that there are a large amount of people commuting to work outside of the city. Now, obviously, that has changed a little bit over the past year and a half. Not only is it estimated that people here lose almost 6 days a year, it is said that averages an equivalent loss of over $1,500 every year due to traffic. The number 2 city with the worst traffic, Chicago. Now, Chicago is one of the largest cities in the US, and being from that region, I would consider Chicago to be like the New York City of the Midwest. If you like to travel and shop, perhaps nowhere is better, as the Windy City has the Magnificent Mile, Chicago's commercial district. It should come as no surprise that the traffic here is painful. Chicago has continually seen steady economic growth, so that is attracting more people to the city every year. The landscape also plays a big part in Chicago's traffic problem, as being located along Lake Michigan, speeds vary. On average, 6 days are lost per year stuck. Before we reveal our number 1 city with the worst traffic, smash that like button for us, click subscribe for more content, and leave us a comment below letting us know what list you'd like us to cover next. Our number 1 city with the worst traffic, Boston, Massachusetts. Best known for the famous baked beans, Fenway Park, the Boston Marathon, this city is home to a unique and beautiful atmosphere. As great as Boston is, they are experiencing a rise in population, have some really old roads, and interesting enough, a really large amount of people utilizing rideshare apps, which equals more drivers. If you're commuting in the Boston area, make sure you pay attention, or else you could find yourself losing up to 149 hours every year.